Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the last topic of our Unit 1, Part 1, vestigial sideband transmission. So this method is slightly different from the previous methods. In AM method, we have full carrier for both bands are available. In DSPSC, one carrier was suppressed, both bands were present. In SSB, the carrier was suppressed, one of the band was also suppressed, information was sent only once, no duplicacy of the information was sent. So this method is slightly different, but it is related to single sideband method. The reason is that the sharp cut frequency is not possible, because in SSB we either take the upper sidebands on the both sides of the spectrum, or take the lower sidebands on both sides of the spectrum. So when we take upper sideband or lower sideband, there is a sharp frequency cut which decides that this is upper sideband and this is the lower sideband. So to avoid such circuitry which precisely measures the cutoff frequency or deciding frequency which differentiate between the bands, we have to have some unwanted part of the band we should take. And that unwanted part of the band is sideband is called as vestige. Hence the name is vestigial sideband. So this method is similar to SSB, but only difference is that in SSB we only take one band, and in vestigial sideband we take the band plus some of the surrounding frequencies of the higher band or the lower band. That is called as vestige or unwanted sideband. We don't want that sideband, but to avoid the complex circuitry or to reduce the cost or make it cost effective, we have to take or entertain with the surrounding frequencies in the upper band or the lower band. Block diagram of vestigial sideband transmitter. It involves a modulating signal, just like all the techniques, and the carrier both should be there. The modulating signal is superimposed upon a carrier in the balanced modulator, and this balanced modulator will try to change the characteristic properties of the carrier. What are the characteristic properties? These are simply the phase, frequency, amplitude, etc. of the carrier. And how these characteristic properties change? They change instantaneously or in time variation as per the shape of the modulating signal. So the envelope of the modulated wave will always have similar shape as that of modulating signal. So after the balanced modulator, we will get a modulated signal, and that modulated signal is our double sideband suppressed carrier. Now after this, we have two bands plus the carrier is suppressed in DSPSC, but two bands are present. Actually, we want only one band. And why do we want only one band? The reason is that the information duplicacy we want to avoid. Information is present in duplicate terms in upper sideband as well as lower sideband. So to avoid this duplicacy of the information, we make use of some filters. In our previous lecture, we have discussed the various filters, and these filters are nothing but the mechanical filters, the electric filters, etc. And their main focus is to suppress the carrier and to filter one of the component of upper sideband or the lower sideband, not all the components of the upper sideband and the lower sideband. Now, after passing through the band filter, one of the band will be passed. Further, in that band, we again take some unwanted part of the upper sideband or the lower side. Now, this term is important, the unwanted part or vestige part. What is this? Suppose we divide the upper sideband into two separate parts, then we have information in the lower sideband, we have information in the upper sideband. So the division between the two is a sharp frequency range, and to develop the sharp frequency filters is a extremely difficult task, or precise filtering is also extremely difficult task and very costly task. So to avoid that and to make the circuitry simplified, we make use of this vestigial sideband. That is, we take some of the unwanted part with the desired message signal. So after sideband filter, VSB signal will be produced. This will pass through the amplifiers and further through the power amplifiers, and then go through the antenna, and then we receive the signal in the television, etc. This is a technique which is generally used for TV broadcasting. So now what actually vestige is, let us try to understand it. So we have a message signal XT represented by this A figure, and then we have a vestigial sideband signal with the B figure. Here, if you can see, these lines represents the unwanted part, and this full upper sideband is taken in case of DSB-SC as well as SSB, but this is a sharp cutoff frequency. Let me use the pointer here. This represents a sharp cutoff frequency. So to avoid this sharp cutoff frequency, or we are not able to devise the devices which can filter at sharp cutoff frequencies, we have to take some of the part of the lower side. Now this represents some lower part which we have to take with the upper sideband, and this unwanted part is called as the vestigial side. So similarly, on the upper side as well, the full SSB is taken with some unwanted part. These dotted red lines represent the full USB upper sideband, with the some lower frequency components are also taken. And what is the purpose of taking the lower frequency? I think it should be clear now. The purpose is to make the circuitry very easy for the filters, because for a sharp line, for sharp frequency, the filtering is extremely difficult task. It is extremely costly. So we unnecessarily do not want the circuitry to be complex and cost should be high. We don't want this. So to reduce these two things, we are taking some of the frequencies which are not part of our upper sideband or the lower sideband, and these unwanted frequencies are called as the vestige. So advantages of vestigial sideband. The main advantage of vestigial sideband modulation is the reduction in bandwidth as compared to SSB or DSBS. So due to allowance of some part of lower sideband, the constraint on the filters have been relaxed. What is that constraint? The constraint is the filtering of a particular frequency or a sharp cutoff frequency. So sharp cutoff frequency constraint is now over. So now it is easy to design the filters for the frequencies plus vestige frequencies present in our signal. It possesses good phase characteristics and make the transmission of low frequency components possible. Low frequency component transmission was not possible in case of the SSB because there was the initial condition for the message signal that it should not have frequency from 0 to some 300 hertz, plus the carrier frequency should be much higher than the message frequency. Application of the vestigial sideband is the TV signal or TV transmission. So large transmission bandwidth is there in case of vestigial sideband. Now block diagram for the generation of vestigial sideband modulation. Again, here it is similar to all other previous methods. You require a message signal, you require a carrier wave which is generated from the carrier oscillator. They are fed into the product modulator. Both the waves superimpose on one another. Modulating signal will try to change the characteristic property of carrier, and we get an output. At output, we will get a double sideband suppressed carrier or single sideband, which will pass through the band pass filter or sideband filter. This sideband filter is constraint relaxed. Constraint relaxed means it can take some of the frequencies outside the bandwidth. That is, some unwanted signals, unwanted frequencies it can take, or vestige it can take. So this condition of constraint relaxation results into easy development of the filters required for vestigial sideband modulation technique. So spectrum of the vestigial sideband, that is frequency response, will be capital X is the Fourier transform as already discussed. We have xt as the message signal, and this is in time domain. We want to convert it into frequency domain. Then this capital X f plus minus fc will be its Fourier transform, and this sf is nothing but the frequency domain analysis of vestigial sideband modulation technique. So demodulation or detection of the vestigial sideband, we will transform or transfer the vestigial sideband wave through antenna, and that those waves are received by some receiving antenna. In receiving antenna, we have some product modulator. Again, the purpose of this modulator is to reverse of that of amplitude modulation. That is, now it will separate the carrier frequency as well as the message signal. So the block diagram for demodulation is represented by figure 3.82. So the working operation for the vestigial sideband modulation is given here. MT is the message signal in time domain analysis. CT is our carrier. ST is the modulated signal. So the modulated signal, modulated wave will be the product of the message signal into the carrier wave, and this after Fourier transform can be converted into time domain, frequency domain analysis by expression 3.12. We have already discussed how to transfer the time domain analysis wave equations of modulating wave, carrier wave, modulated wave into frequency domain analysis of modulated wave, carrier wave, and modulating wave. So MF is the modulated wave in frequency domain analysis, which is equal to half SF plus minus FC. We have already discussed that this spectrum analysis of the modulated wave is given by 3.121. We will make use of this equation 3.121 in place of this SF plus minus FC. So in this equation, in place of F, here in place of F, we will substitute F plus minus FC. So on substituting F plus minus FC, everywhere in this equation where F is present, here F is present, F minus FC. So in place of F, we substitute F plus FC minus FC. FC get cancelled. This will become XF. which is given in this equation, xf, hf minus fc, hf plus fc. So in similar way, wherever f present in this equation, we will substitute f plus fc, f minus fc, and the factor of 1 by 4 comes from this half into Vc by 2 here. So this factor of 1 by 4 comes from there. Here also we will have a factor of 1 by 4. So in place of 2, this should be 1 by 4, Vc by 4. Now let us move to the last part, application of the vestigial sideband. The application of vestigial sideband is in the TV transmission. In TV transmission, we know we should have both the picture quality as well as sound. So it is capable of sending two types of message signals instead of one in case of amplitude modulation, one in case of double sideband suppressed carrier, and one in case of single sideband. So this is the main difference between the other methods and this vestigial sideband, that vestigial sideband is capable of sending the two type of signal. The picture signal have the frequency range up to 1.25 megahertz, and the sound frequencies are around some 50,000 hertz, although the sound frequency ranges from 0 to 20,000 hertz, but they are superimposed on high frequency carrier, so their frequency range is up. Full carrier, that is standard amplitude modulation technique, the carrier is not suppressed. In double sideband suppressed carrier, carrier is fully suppressed. In single sideband, carrier is fully suppressed. In vestigial sideband, the carrier is already suppressed because this vestigial sideband signal is prepared from single sideband signal. Sideband suppression. In case of sideband suppression, one sideband is completely suppressed. In case of single sideband, one sideband is partially suppressed. Why partially? Because here we are taking some of the unwanted part or vestigial part of upper sideband or the lower sideband, whereas this sideband suppression is missing in case of the double sideband full carrier, double sideband suppressed carrier, in which only carrier is suppressed. Bandwidth is twice in case of both AM modulation and double sideband full carrier, suppressed carrier, whereas bandwidth is half in case of single sideband. Bandwidth in case of vestigial sideband varies from FM to twice FM. Why FM to twice FM? Because it depends upon how much unwanted signal we are taking or how much vestige we are taking. Number of modulating inputs are 111 in case of all three methods, DSB-FC, DSB-SC, SSB, whereas in case of vestigial sideband, we have two types of modulating inputs. One is picture, another is our sound. Application, radio broadcasting, DSB-FC, amplitude modulation. We already know about AM, FM, WM, etc. These are the double sideband full carrier technique. DSB-SC, again radio broadcasting. Single sideband point-to-point mobile communication. Vestigial sideband is TV transmission. But now in case of the mobile point-to-point communication, earlier we used to hear voice only. Now we can see picture quality, video quality, etc. So this point-to-point mobile communication is now shifting towards the vestigial sideband technique, that is the TV technique, in which we both have motion, picture as